Hey, what's up? It's Ghost Pepper. This is going to be my second ever video to my audience of what, 2 people, maybe less. Anyway, it's going to be a review of the Rampart 17. This is probably going to be what my channel is going to focus on, reviews of guns in Black Ops 4. So it's the second gun you unlock in the assault class. You unlock it at level 10, I believe. So that's, you know, plenty of time to get good at the gun and unlock attachments for it that you'll not need. Well, I mean, high caliber 1 and 2 you'll need, but everything else is kind of optional, I guess. Anyway, it's under its stats, has range 9 out of 20, so I assume 20 is like the maximum distance between the start and the finish of the map, the start and the end of the map. Like, but I don't think that's practical because you're never gonna be in a gunfight that's, you know, 20 out of 20 distance because there's too many obstacles in between there. So the range is 9 out of 20. I think I'll compare it to the other assault rifles later. Damage 12 out of 20, which you can already tell is pretty good for an assault rifle. Fire rate 6 out of 20. Yeesh, that is not too great. Accuracy 7 out of 20. Yeesh, also not too great. Magazines, you get 3 magazines, so I mean, you can run and crash is what I would, you know, recommend, but you can also go scavenger on the class. You get 30 bullets per magazine, which is, I mean, it's not too great. I often find it isn't enough if I'm having a good game, you know, going for score streaks, because I'll need to reload really often, you know, all the time, and I often get killed while I'm reloading. I'll get to a solution to that later. It is not, you know, capable of having an operator mod. Operator mod is NA, which is fair enough. I mean, the developers didn't want it to be too overpowered because it is already a really good gun. As you can tell, it focuses more on damage than fire rate or anything, as opposed to the Maddox, which is the opposite. The damage is 46, just to the body, headshot 50, and high caliber is 59. I'm not sure if that means high caliber headshot or just high caliber body or the average damage of a headshot and body shot with high caliber. So, yeah. I'm going to compare it to the other assault rifles in the class. So the ICR, it has a double the damage, almost half the fire rate, so that's not too good. 6 compared to the ICR's 10. Has the best range in the class, so I'm not even going to touch that. Oh, and the best damage in the class, so I'm not even going to touch that either. Accuracy has the worst in the class. Okay, so just remember that. Best damage, worst fire rate, worst accuracy. And, well, I think it's got the best range, so, not really a point comparing them to the other assault rifles, is there? I'll still do a little, you know, 1 or 2 things, comparisons to give you an idea. So, it has double the damage of the ICR, more than double the damage of the Maddox, but the Maddox has more than double the fire rate of the Rampart 17, so they're kind of opposites if you think about it. Range and accuracy. So the accuracy on this gun is statistically the worst, but I find it's actually pretty good. Not at ranges though, it's actually pretty good once you get a feel for it, once you know, are able to handle the gun well. The recoil factor kind of disappears. Some traits that it has are high damage, so it does the most out of any assault rifle in this class, as I've mentioned, as you might observe in this clip. It has a slow rate of fire, again the worst in the class, so I mean, yeah, it's not too great. It has apparently really strong recoil, but I mean, I don't know what that's about, because when I'm using it, it doesn't seem to have, well, a lot of recoil at all at the ranges I'm using it, at least in this clip. So here are some tips for you when using it. Avoid long range fights. It's not because of the range is bad, it's just because the recoil is high for this gun, so just avoid long range fights. And you want to take advantage of the damage, since it has the most damage, best damage in the class. You should probably take advantage of that by, you know, being very aggressive in your gunfights, and, you know, try and keep the gunfights at max to, you know, mid-range, or preferably, you know, close to mid-range, as seen right there. That was probably the longest range you should be using it at comfortably. I would recommend shooting in bursts. I don't do that a lot in this clip, but this clip is a pretty close quarters map, so there's not really a need to. But, well, I mean, it probably would improve my gameplay if I used it here and then. So, I'm gonna get onto the... Well, a tip is use high caliber attachments. They're a must-have, but I'll get onto the attachments you should use in a minute. Right now I'm gonna focus on the sight. So as you can see in this clip, I don't use the sight. If I were gonna use the sight, it would be the reflex sight, or maybe the threat detector. I reckon all the others are a bit Recoil sight is good, but not on this gun. Holographic just is a bad sight in general, I reckon. It's not that great. Dual zoom can be good on some guns in some situations, but I mean not on this gun and not in this situation, or at least that I've found. Long barrel, pretty much useless, I reckon. I don't use it. I've never even considered using it on this gun. So must have, getting onto some must-haves here. Fast mags, because, or maybe not a must-have, but high caliber 1 and 2 must-have. I'm not even gonna talk about it. You just do so much more damage. It's must-have. Fast mags I use because there's not enough bullets in the magazine, I reckon, as I've found through gameplay, so I use that to minimize the time that I'm reloading. FMJ, I do use it. I only use FMJ1 though, and I only use it because it does a tiny bit more damage, and you can penetrate through armor and stuff, you know, all that good stuff. I do not use grip, but apparently, according to the stats of the Rampart, it has really bad accuracy. So, if you're new to the game and you can't really control recoil as well, or even if you're really good at the game and you just prefer less recoil, I would recommend not using grip. So, you know, with all that said, I'll just shut up and let you enjoy the rest of the clip.
Hostile care package inbound. Enemy UAV above. Hostile CUAV detected. Taking C.
Deploy used. Danger close. TAC deploy beacon offline.
Enemy sentry active. Desperate times mean desperate measures. We have to take this. Sit rep. Hostile care package above. Net call. Hostile Hellstorm inbound. Enemy CUAV established above. Enemy UAV above. Losing Alpha. That's a loss. Remaining assets return for debrief.
Hey, now I'm gonna be doing the, you know, the recoil patterns and how bad the recoil is. Apparently, as I've said many times now, statistically it's quite bad, but you know, when you look at it here. I'm actually not gonna use that thing like I did for the KN57 review because all the bullets disappear and it's really weird to use. This is much more accurate at determining the recoil. I might redo the KN57 video just because of how inaccurate that pillar was at measuring the recoil. As you can see here, the recoil is kind of umbrella shaped. It starts going like straight up, but then as you fire it more, it kind of goes all over the place. Hip fire is just wild. I mean, it goes everywhere. It kind of goes in an S shape. It goes across, then up for a bit, then across, then up for a bit, then across again. It'll keep going like that, presumably, you know. I'm gonna try the Rampart 17 with the grip now. I think the indoors will be where I do my testing from now on, because that pillar again is really inaccurate at measuring the recoil. Half the bullets disappear, half them don't even register, I guess. Ooh, so that's just the umbrella, but you know, tightly packed, I guess. Just, yeah, what did you expect from the grip attachment? Let's see what it does here. Very little. All it seems to have done is completely eliminate the sort of S zigzag up across pattern we had earlier. Maybe that was just a coincidence and it doesn't actually do anything. So I'm gonna use the ICR, which is the most accurate assault rifle, to do a comparison, since the Rampart 17 is statistically the least accurate assault rifle. I'm going to be using no grip, grip 1, grip 2 on laser sight on the ICR to see how much of a difference it makes. Oh, already compared to the original Rampart, you know, accuracy, that's the ICR is 10 times better, easy. Hip fire, it's tighter. I mean, it seems to just go straight across and then kick slightly right at the end. But I mean, the hip fire, everything is much better already. Just got to cap the hard point, you know. Okay, now I'm going to be using it with grip 1. Yeah, that's already much better than the Rampart with grip. Now let's see. Hip fire, already see it's relatively, well, the pattern that we had earlier with grip 1 and hip fire where it went straight across is now just being completely decimated. Doesn't happen anymore. Now I'm gonna use what am I using? I'm using grip 2 now. Grip 1 and grip 2, I mean. So we'll see how much yeah, you can already see, just no flinch. Yeah, it's just, yeah, that's perfect recoil. That's like, yeah, I can't really tell a difference from the start, and hip fire seems to have stayed the same, so that's why I'm going to try out laser sight on the ICR now, seeing as the Rampart doesn't have laser sight. So this is inevitably going to be better than the Rampart. I don't know why I really tested this one. Guess it just, that's right, to see if it has any difference on the recoil, you know, ADS. And downsides firing. Not sure it does, compared to the original ICR, have any difference ADS firing. Definitely has a difference hip firing, which can be, you know, emphasized when you're shooting at these really close ranges. It's very good hip firing. Yeah, that's gonna do it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was useful. Bye.